Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Evan Studios Weekly Podcast. I am your host, Stark, and today is September 17, 2025. This is episode 21 from second season, if I recall correctly. And today I was thinking about doing something a little different. But first and foremost, let's say hi to everyone in the chat. I don't know who's there. YouTube could show the nicknames, but I guess in favor of anonymity, it doesn't. But everyone watching this live right now, what up, guys? It's good to see you here. Morgan, what's up? And to everyone not seeing this live, if you're seeing this later, it doesn't matter. Welcome to the Evan Cities Weekly Podcast. Today I was actually thinking about doing two things because I need to update you guys on the state of Journey Abroad and Bloodlust. But I am so happy with the state that we got Journey Abroad to, that I was actually thinking about doing a live exhibition of the game, or maybe not do this today and do this another day, like a playthrough with the dev and me explaining as I play. The decisions behind everything that we did in the game. I think that will be a fun podcast to make. I don't know if the weekly podcast is the best place to do that, but it definitely feels like it will be something that people will enjoy. Just playing the game and basically just commenting on all the tidbits, all the little bits of dialogue, the little bits of story. I think that will be really cool. And considering that Journey Abroad right now only has like 3 mature scenes, I could probably create a quick version where we have that part completely censored. But I don't know what are the rules on YouTube. How much can you show in terms, not in terms of nudity, but if you have sexual encounters more or less in like text if they will complain. I mean, there's no nudity, but there's implied sexuality in the text. I don't know. Maybe it's something that we need to do on Picarto or something like that. But I do think that will be cool to do that and kind of point out the work it took to create some of the things. But yeah, Journey Abroad right now, we are so happy with what we got. We were finally able to put all the faces in all the scenes. I was surprised because I can't believe that the first patch already has something like 4,312 lines of dialogue, and obviously each one of them as a bust, as a character having an expression. And even if you do one every 5 seconds, you can imagine how long it takes to put faces in all the lines of dialogue. It's a lot. We were able to create the dialogue boxes. It looks really cool, really good. Let me just, I don't know if we can stream it in terms of RPG Maker actually has issues with. Let me just make sure that Isaac added something that I changed to the game so I can run it and make sure that everything is safe for work and safe for here. Give me a second. Yes, it is in place. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of like run this real quick and try to give you guys a sneak peek. But again, there's a few things that we're gonna have to take into account. One of them obviously being the sound not being too loud. So I would appreciate if you guys in chat could help me on that one. And also we might want to make sure that OBS can actually capture the gameplay. So obviously this part is important. Let's see, add window capture, and let's see if you can capture this, because I heard that RPG Maker in general just has issues with being streamed. Is it this? It clearly is not this. Is it this? Yeah, there we go. RPG Maker MV is mostly just black screen. I don't know why this. I don't know why this is a thing. I honestly don't know why this is a thing. A little loud. Give me a second. I'm gonna try to lower it a little bit more. Sorry if I if I made you guys go deaf for a second there. Let me just Google why can't I stream RPG Maker MV on OBS. It uses older DirectX versions of doesn't support modern game captures. Instead of game capture, try using window capture. I am ensuring your game is in borderless window mode or use display capture as a last resort. Yeah, well, the last resort is what I don't want to add because it's going to take most of the screen. And I don't want to share too much information. Actually, if I do display capture, will it work? It does, but it's going to be super weird. Let me go like. Give me a second. I know it looks super wrong right now. I'm gonna try to move this or not because this is being so. Okay, let me try and do this, and hopefully this won't be too bad. Okay, so as you guys might see right from the start, we have created new buttons, and eventually we are going to have. Let me also put this on the side here. Or there, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't think that's bad. So the first thing that you guys probably have noticed that we changed the buttons. Eventually, we're gonna have a button for Patreon or Subscribe Star or whatever you guys join us to. And I've already explained in the development podcast a lot about why we made the colors, why we had the colors match some of the characters' clothes, some of the logo, and we wanted to have everything look really cool. But there are some of the things that you guys haven't seen in game yet, and I'm looking forward for you guys to try this yourselves. I'm gonna give you guys just a little start. All these noises and this stuff, it took so long to do because I'm not good at it, but we think it looks so good. Everything from the soundtrack to the general appearance of things, I feel like we did a really good job. You know, now it's how people react to the work that was put. All the system messages are going to look like this, so they don't look like an immersion breaking. Suddenly there's a message from the system mid dialogue and whatever. We didn't want to have that, so. We actually feel like this looks pretty good. This part was also really bad because the interface of the game was not really good, but as you can see, it now has like a very specific window. We are going to use set my own because if you use default, it's just going to skip, and if I use set my own, you will have a chance to see how it looks. And this is obviously the new dialogue bar, which we feel like it looks really good. We feel like it fits the game. Everything works, which is the most important part, which is connecting the front end to the back end, and it's not always easy. It's definitely not always easy. Thankfully, we have Mike Cross with us, and he does an amazing job at doing that. But yeah, and I'm gonna show you guys also a few features that we added to the game. And here you have a very nice, very comprehensive box. Also, in order for the text not to be too big, we don't allow, if you try to put uppercase after the third character, it won't allow you. If you try at like the third character or the first three, you can. But if you do extras after that, it will be lowercase, and this is to prevent a few bugs in the game or stuff like that. Let's go with to give you an example. Even if we wanted to make like YouTube and use the big T, it doesn't allow us. Whatever we add after the third character, it's going to be lowercase. And then surname, and if you want to add the nickname, obviously you can You can skip all this. You don't have to see this. You can just click an option, and the default option is to skip. If it's not, it will be. It's just that it hasn't been. This isn't the final version. Isaac right now has the final version as he's making a few changes that we are going to release on Friday, which is going to be the final public version, or should be the final public version. And then there's a lot of things that we already added, and there's a lot of things that we still want to add, but I can show you guys more or less what it is. Let's watch the intro from the start. Few seconds. You have this dialogue right now. We didn't have the face expressions. We now do, and this is pretty much how it looks. Also remember that your character is now called YouTube. Depending on what you pick, there will be characters that will. Are you winning, son? There, depending on what you pick for name, nickname, and surname, some characters are going to treat you differently. Like your friends and people that don't know you probably going to call you by your first name. Some people, like older people, might call you by your last name. Like a T-shirt can call you like Mr. Adams instead of Mr. YouTube. You know, we picked the last name Adams. That's why I'm using Adams, because default is Chris Adams. And people that you're going to get super acquainted with are going to be calling you at a certain point in the game. You will be bestowed with a nickname, and some people that are closer to you are going to be calling you a nickname. And we have also considered, for the sake of immersion, have some characters have specific nicknames for you, depending on the relationship with her. Some characters might call you different things. Making something that is important for us in Journey Abroad that is not as important for Bloodlust is that this game is incredibly realistic and immersive. So it's going to be a full life experience, slice of life, where we want the players to get fully immersed in the game. And for Bloodlust, we are not going to consider realism as much, because we believe that the final product trumps all sorts of realism, trumps all sorts of logic. I feel like what's important in an entire game in a more Oriental style, in a more faithful to the Japanese origins, is going to be something that the scenario and how hot a scene is going to be the most important part of it's going to be the most important part of the game. It's not exactly realism, and it's not exactly strong dialogue. I feel like it's the scenarios and the drawing and the animations and the whole gist around it that makes an entire game in an Oriental style stronger. So it's going to be more like Fleeting Iris. There's going to be lots of NTR. Not a lot of it is going to be believable. You're going to be like, dude, at this point anyone will be suspicious. This character cannot be this naive. There's going to be a lot of that, which is pretty recurrent in a pretty recurring theme in those type of hentai games. We also appreciate hentai in those constraints, in that fashion. But Journey Abroad is going to be a different game. I do feel like quality wise we will be able to create a product that people on both spectrums are able to enjoy. Obviously, people that don't have a lot of tolerance for family matters are probably not going to enjoy Journey Abroad that much, even though it's possible to play the game without being and my cat's just going well. And maybe there's a lot of people that are going to enjoy Journey Abroad that don't like Bloodlust strictly because it's going to be very heavy on the Netorare components. And we respect that, we understand that, but we want people not to enjoy the other game because of the genre and not because it wasn't made properly. We want to create strong games that are strong in their own genre, and I understand that they are not often interchangeable. We understand that, but we hope to make really good games that people that don't have an aversion to either of those genres are able to enjoy. So that's really our goal for Journey Abroad and Bloodlust. They are being created in in different perspectives. This one wants to be a more realistic slice of life with genuine, organic dialogues and relations between the characters. And Bloodlust is going to be, your generic anti game where there's just a bunch of mature stuff happening all the time, sometimes for no reason. So I hope that people that are the more connoisseurs about the anti-genre understand the differences between each. It's not that we're putting more effort in one or less effort in other. It's literally we're just designing two games in two completely different scenarios. So going forward, first day you're at house, you're talking with your best friend, saying that you're going to move to Heaven City. You're going to move in with your mom and your new stepmom and your older sister. Obviously, you might be moving into with friends with your father's friends, someone that went to school with him and whatnot. It's going to depend the platform where you acquire the game, but I'm sure someone is going to make a fan patch where you can just apply it on any version and just play whatever version you like. But obviously, we have to follow the legal constraints of all the platforms where we provide the game. So please do keep that in mind. I'm really good. I'm really happy with what we did in terms of gameplay. What we picked for dialogue box. It might be something that is so little and so unimportant for most people, but for us, all the small details like the dialogue box, the amazing art by Scarlett, and the amazing music setting the tone, setting the emotional tone, the maps and whatnot. We spent so much time in every single little detail. And I can't find the button that hides the dialogue box. Why is it not there? But I think I'm gonna take this time to show you guys a few of the features that we have in game. None of them are working except the kill button. So for you guys to understand what this is, we have a button. Currently, it's defined as button 0. But you will be able to switch this in the menu once we have access to the menu, which is what we are working on right now. Actually, not right now, but it's what we're going to work on next, because right now I am mostly working on Bloodlust. But once we go back to working on Journey Abroad, the priority is going to be making the menus. Some of them are not available right now, and the reason is fairly obvious. It just takes so much time, and we wanted to focus on all the time that we had in things that we considered that were more important, is making the game better in terms of like the general dialogue, the faces of the characters and whatnot. Let me just close this. So here you already see the characters having like facial expressions and emotions that we didn't have. We added it to all of the game right now. And then you have the part where also you're gonna have a few moments of this. Obviously, making an intro video takes a lot of time. It's not a priority right now, and since we don't work with like AI stuff and whatnot, we just use it for placeholder backgrounds like here. This is as you can see the background for the dialogue background for reminiscing or thinking about something. It's a little different, so you will be able to tell what is going on here. This is where you meet your older sister, or all the little details from the characters being in the car and whatever. I feel like everything was very decently accomplished, and the matching soundtracks and whatnot. I feel like obviously the illustrations by Scarlett Ann are absolutely amazing. We are definitely working with the right person. I don't know, maybe it's I'm just too proud being the dev of the game, but I don't know, man. I definitely feel like we are onto something here, and definitely all of this is going to translate into Bloodlust eventually. obviously the new time pass menu, because we created a nice one with a nice animated wall clock. But a lot of people complained that it was taking too long. And it's important because we were going to use something very similar for Bloodlust, but instead of being a wall clock, it was going to be a digital clock, and people complained that it appeared too much and it took too much time. And after a while, it started getting annoying. I don't know if you guys played. I already saw a bunch of flaws that shouldn't be here, like the shadows here. The shadows in all these spots should not be here. This will be fixed. Also, your mom is not supposed to start here. She's supposed to start outside of the screen. We'll also fix that. I think this has been fixed in the version that Isaac has. And this will be a perfect time to see if the car disappears when Megan says she's going to. Oh yeah, the doors. We still haven't added like cool looking doors. I need to spend a lot of time in Photoshop doing pixel art, which again, I am not amazing at it. I can do it. Eventually, I'm gonna go through a lot of trial and error. I know that I'm capable of doing it. It's just that it's not something that is easy for me because I haven't practiced it enough. Now, here in this part, you have this moment where your mom should come running out of screen and does this, and somewhere during this dialogue, your sister just fails. And now you have the new narrating dialogue box, which looks like this when the character is narrating or reminiscing. Not maybe reminiscing, but when there's like figures of speech in place, the dialogue box changes, and you have those little brackets explaining that the character is whispering or is like groaning or whatever. It's going to be delivered in this manner. So the dialogue box changes depending on the dialogue style that is being had at the moment. So we spent a lot of time in that. We thought it looked really cool. Obviously, this is the character breaking the fourth wall and talking, kind of like narrating the game in the past. So at this point, yeah, in the official server, the car has left the building. This car is not there anymore. And then basically your mom, you haven't been here in a long time. She shows you the house. Also, it's obvious that I spent a crazy amount of time just designing this house and the fine details like the stairs on the right side. They seem rather simple, but if you see them from upstairs, it's completely different. Again, another amazing Scarlet Hand drawing. We have that system where you only see some rooms if you are in them, and yeah, this little manifold, whatever it is here. Also, this conversation is already in game, just not in this version. And yeah, you have basically this dialogue. This little thing on the bottom right corner, that little thing over there, isn't actually there in game. It's here in the test server. Also, that whole conversation. So you can see the downstairs from upstairs. These stairs were actually something that we put a lot of time into, and there's more places in game where this is. There's a lot of time and a lot of me. Like, obviously, this is a poster for a future game that we have. All these paintings that you see are paintings that I took. It's literally photos that I took in real life. For instance, that's my cat. There's a few tidbits in the game that, obviously there's a scene that we cannot explain very much about because this is going to be the main plot line. And yeah, I will let you guys explore that part of the game. There's a few things that are in game already that are not here. It's not a lot, but this is not the final version. Isaac has the final version. I think I could access it if I wanted, but for what we want to do today, I don't feel like it's really necessary. And obviously, you're going to be able to access the menu and create your own saves and everything that is cool. So, I think the part that I wanted to show you guys is already available in game. If you guys pay attention, you will see a little arrow over here, down looking arrow. Depending on the color of the arrow, the arrows mean different things. This is going to be important for Bloodlust as well. If an arrow is orange, it means that you can move to another area of the map, but within the same map, so to speak. This is obviously a different map, but it's still the same location, like your house. If you see a transparent arrow, it means you can move behind something. And if you see a pink arrow, that I'm not able to see because during this part in the game, it forces me to go to the kitchen. But if you go to the kitchen, this actually glitched, and I need to see why. This is not mature, but it's still a little bit. And then you have a conversation. So what I want to point out is that most of the details that you see here will be added to Bloodlust. So we're not only doing this all this work for Journey Abroad. All of this is, it transfers to Bloodlust in terms of all the scripts, all the nice things that we did for this game are going to be there for Bloodlust. Now, since we are going through a cutscene right now, you might have noticed that the little arrows have disappeared. We have like a condition in game that if we code the scene as a cutscene, some of the excessive details in the screen disappear. But this is all for the sake of the immersion. As soon as the cutscene is over, they will be back. Another thing is if you're going through a cutscene, you will notice that your characters disappear behind walls and whatnot because you're kind of like following the character. This also only happens during cutscenes. Let me just take a break here because this part is 90% sure that this part is mature. Let me try and move this out of the screen a little bit. Oh my god, I haven't been able to. Well, we here see some nudity because the main character is taking a shower. I could keep going, but yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to reset the game here, and I'm just going to show you guys a few features that happen on this day, because we're gonna have to break on this day. But we see the character taking a shower. It's nothing, too mature, but the character shows some nudity, and obviously we can't show that on YouTube. But for instance, you see that arrow, you are able to turn those on or off anywhere in the game. And as you can see, when your character is behind an area where you shouldn't be able to see him, we have created a script that allows you to see the character. But this does not happen, like I explained, this does not happen during cutscenes. If the character is walking behind something, and there's obviously places where it makes sense and places where it doesn't make sense, so we created the prerogative of doing it ourselves. I don't know if you can go in here. If you do, obviously you can see him here, and if you go behind there, and this will obviously be important for anti-scenes and whatnot, and for you just not to lose control of the character in general later down the road. But again, we do feel like this was a nice touch to the game. All of this can be turned on and off. If you go downstairs again, the one on the left, we already fixed it. Right here, it still shows it, but we know that it's not there. Also, yeah, if I hold control, it allows me to go through walls. These arrows are not here right now. Oh, never mind. They are. So if I crack the game, because I'm using this on dev mode, I can do things that I shouldn't be able to. We have. I just skipped a huge portion of the game. And this transfer that you saw right here, Well, this is saying go to the kitchen because I just skipped a part of the game, and the block right now is is done in a specific manner. We're just going to not touch that. And yeah, this map is not complete. I still want to add some trees and obviously the main gate and whatnot. But you can tell how much time was spent in here on creating the reflective surface and whatnot. And during nighttime, if there is lights turned on any of these windows, you will be able to see inside of the windows. This will be important not only for the university, but for other maps where you will be able to follow characters and be able to see what they're doing inside doors if the lights are on inside the building. Even on reflective surfaces, you are able to see through them, which is another detail. And then obviously a lot of details were added we no longer have just black. We no longer have just black sprites for the general public. We added a bunch of blue and pink sprites representing both genders. And another thing that we can do is not only we have the panic button available in all the game, where pretty much we don't know if this is a little too not safe for work still, because we wanted, okay, if someone walks into your room, boom, it looks like you're playing a zombie game or whatever, Zombie Killer 3, ooh, we wanted to have people have a panic button in case someone walks in on you, or who knows, maybe you like to play games in public transportation. Someone is looking at your screen, you tap somewhere in your screen, boom, you have an image in game. Basically, it pauses the game. Not only it pauses the game exactly where it is, it also pauses the music and the sound effects, all the moaning and whatever that can be appearing in the background. It blocks everything. So if you're playing, you can at any moment you just press the panic button, you're done, you're good. Another thing that you have is, like I said, you can press another button to kill all of the extra information in the screen. And we also have this, which is our very comprehensive message log, which is, oh my god, I was skipping the text and I feel like that part was important. Well, don't stress, you can just press the message log. You can page up, page down to go up and down very fast, and all the information will be here. Another thing that we added in the main game is all the relevant information will be written in yellow. So, for instance here, we will probably put the kitchen in yellow to be like, memorize these words, this part is important. We don't want the player to be lost or at any given moment not knowing what to do. So we're going to have some sort of like journal in the menu, and you will be always able to see suggestions to where to go to further the plot. Now, once you go here, you don't see it yet, but we're going to have a teleport menu. We already have it. It will be in the final version Friday. And if there's a quest or an event happening in that place, there's going to be a mark saying, there's going to be like a big exclamation mark saying that you can further the plot there, or there's going to be a heart saying that there's an event that can lead to an enticing there. So you will be able to always, if you feel lost or if you haven't been paying attention to the game, you can at any given moment you can just go to the menu or go to the teleport, and you will get hints to where you can unlock scenes and whatnot. So we don't want to like end all the player throughout the entire game. We want the player to be able to explore. Maybe not at the levels that we wanted people to explore Fleeting Iris initially, where we will just release you into a huge map and whatnot. But we do want players to stumble upon the scenes itself by himself, and but we do want to give the player a lot of agency, how to control your day. If you want to go to a job, if you want to go to school, if you want to try to get a new job, run for a promotion, if you want to have a date with a certain character, whatever it is, we want to give the player maximum agency, and give the player like total freedom to decide how they're going to spend their days. However, some of the scenes are obviously going to further the plot, and others you're just going to, spend time talking to characters and improving your stat and whatnot. So, there's that. Obviously, he's telling me to go to the kitchen, but we have a scene. I just hope that. We're going to have some speech bubbles. If you approach some characters, there's going to be like these balloons where you can hear what some person are saying out loud, so it actually feels like the people around you are talking. And obviously you're going to step into defend this guy, and lights out, and you're going to wake up in the infirmary. Nice little dialogue. You meet a new character, and yes, obviously you're going to be able to romanticize all of these characters. And obviously there's a tutorial. This is a placeholder, but it already shows you pretty well how the school works, and all of this is going to be in amazing detail. So for the player not to get lost, there's obviously there's information, and this is already fixed in the final version. If you go to any place, can I actually enter here? Oh, I can. So you can get a nice look. We weren't able to do this in the past, but now we are. So yeah, this is the bathroom interior. It's going to be important in both games. Also, this needs to be fixed. I'm glad I saw this. I'm pretty sure that Isaac didn't try this, but now I saw it. So everybody disappeared and was put in the top left corner. Got it. So obviously here you need to go to your classroom, which is class 1011. The numbers are not arbitrary. The tutorial explains all of how the entire school works. But again, all of these details, you can turn them on or off. So early on, if you want to use this as guidelines for you not to get lost, you can have this on. Later down the road, if you're already used to where everything is, and if you want to like increase the immersion just a little bit, you can turn it off, and then it's gone, and you will be able to play the game. Obviously all of the features still work. I think this is right now it's set for 20 pieces of dialogue. We increased it to 100 if I don't recall correctly. If I do recall correctly, and yeah, we need to be able to let the player adjust how many scenes, how many pieces of dialogue they want to see in the message log, because obviously less amounts of dialogue are going to make it open faster and become more available. And for weaker computers, you can decrease the number of lines. That is something that, as you guys know, we always take into concern that everyone can play this game. If it's a bad computer, if it's an old computer, if it's a computer having issues, or if it's a top of the line computer, we want to be able to let everyone play the game and everyone enjoy the game to the fullest without constantly lagging and whatnot. But obviously some people will have to lower the graphics or turn off some options. We're going to give the players some customization to work around some of the heavier setups, like the screen reflections for reflective surfaces. You will be able to turn that on and off, and if your computer is slow, it's going to improve your loading. It's going to improve your loading times. Okay, here I can actually walk behind this. I should be able to. Another thing to fix. This I'm pretty sure it's not fixed in the main menu. And yeah, if you that's not the button that I want. This is the button that I want. And if you go for class 1011, you will have your first day at school. You will meet a new character. You will meet the guy that you saved on the first day. And yeah, this is just a little bit. This is just a little bit of the gameplay from the first day. Keep in mind that the first patch as the first week entirely. We do feel like everything that we wanted to do, that we set out to do, and we kept telling people that we wanted to do, was the dialogue boxes, the soundtracks, the faces, the everything. I do feel like we managed to do a pretty good job with all of it. And most of the work that was done here with slight adjustments is going to be used in Bloodlust. So let's leave it at that for now. And it was great showing you guys this part of the gameplay. That's just a little bit of the first day. Obviously, the first day keeps going for quite a lot more. Like I said, it's the first patch and it already has like 4,300 something dialogue lines. Definitely this game has a lot more range time, and I mean a whole lot more range time than Fleeting Iris had. Not because we didn't put a lot of time and a lot of passion into Fleeting Iris, it's just that we were just not as competent as we are today. And obviously, and more importantly, maybe not more importantly, but equally importantly, we didn't have the tools and we didn't have the connections that we have today. We didn't have the same staff that we have today. AI helped the game a lot, especially, well, mostly in terms of proofreading. Obviously, me not being not that it actually qualifies you as being good at it, but me not being a native English speaker. I mean, you can probably tell from the way I speak that my English is nowhere near perfect. And for a game like this, obviously, you don't want grammar mistakes. You don't want your sentences to look non-natural, like too mechanical, because obviously I am sticking to a much more limited grammar than someone that will be a native will be used to, because it becomes a second nature to English native speakers. And obviously, artificial intelligence was able to help us a lot in that regard. It takes a longer time because we have to write a text and then we have to make it more natural, and finally we have to proofread it, and then we have to put it in game. Whereas for Fleeting Iris, I will write everything in game, and obviously there will be a lot of grammar mistakes. I am a famous comma splicer. Not very good at grammar. That part does not improve in Portuguese. I'm a lot better now nowadays, especially from seeing how AI writes. I'm definitely able to emulate it a lot better than I used to in the past. But yeah, I hope you guys liked all the details that we provided for Journey Abroad. Now, a lot of you might want to know a little bit about Bloodlust, and also you guys probably want to hear about the Fleeting Iris remake that we have announced on X, and it's something that we already started doing in our free time, and we are currently imagining how the game will look in RPG Maker MV. But obviously for that we will need to recreate most of the necessary systems. Obviously we need to recreate all the necessary systems, but considering that the story of the game and the gameplay and whatnot is going to be changed because we want the player to have more agency, we are going to get rid of irrelevant stuff like money and whatnot. It's important story wise, but it's not important mechanical wise. We're going to be getting rid of some of the details in the game, and we want to obviously we want to animate all the pieces of the game. We want to recreate some of the older scenes in visually, and obviously we want to rewrite the entire scenes with better quality. So there's a lot that goes into a remake, a proper remake, and it's obviously for people that played the original Fleeting Iris, you're going to see a lot of similarities, but it's going to be a completely different game. Imagine Fleeting Iris, but brought to the quality of dialogue, story, and whatnot of Journey Abroad or Bloodlust. It's going to play as a completely different game, and honestly, for us, it's going to be what Fleeting Iris always deserved to be. And unfortunately, I personally and other members of my team weren't able to make it justice to our vision because we were still learning. For Bloodlust, considering that some of the earlier scenes are going to require you to look into the past because the game is going to have certain periods of the game where the game is seen in the past when Eve is an 18-year-old entering college for the first time. We had to create the bus for 3 or 4 new characters. There are characters that already existed, but it's younger versions of them. So obviously we don't have all the time that we have on Journey Abroad, because on Journey Abroad we already have most of the age scenes already, the anti-CGs already drawn and whatnot. For Bloodlust, we need to we are drawing as we go, because the team was working on the free DLCs for Fleeting Iris, the Shota patch, the Christmas patch, all the stuff that you guys wanted us to deliver, and we eventually delivered. But the team has only been working on Bloodlust since the beginning of the year, essentially, since February or something like that. And yeah, we already have most of the bus for all the characters. We already started creating most of the initial maps, the apartment complex that Eve is going to move into. You are going to spend a lot of time in there. Eve is going to get acquainted really nicely with the neighbors. We are also adding the maps that you don't see in Journey Abroad, even though we are going to use the Devon City University. Some rooms, like the teacher's lounge or the principal's office, you weren't able to see them as they were not necessary for in Journey Abroad, but we had to create those maps for Bloodlust, as they are going to be a lot more important there, considering that Eve is a teacher and she's going to have an interview with the school principal, which is one of the main antagonists of the game, as you know, most of you already probably know this at this point. And obviously the house in which Jazz is going to move into. Those are the maps that are absolutely essential to have this patch. And we are trying to have already up to 4 anti-scenes. Our goal is to release the game at the end of the month. Now, we might do something similar with Journey Abroad, where almost all of the game is there, so we're just going to release whatever we have. And then instead of start working on Journey Abroad right away on October 1st, considering that we are in very early stages of the game and things take a considerably larger amount of time, because we are working in a lot of scripts, we're working in a lot of back stuff that we won't have to do later down the road. Later down the road, most of what you do is come up with a soundtrack and then just create the events, the dialogue, put the bus in place. That's it. Right now, everything that we do requires that new functions are added, new scripts are done. It requires menus, it requires all of that stuff. That takes a lot of time. So we haven't decided how we are going to process on October. If we are able to achieve all of our goals for Bloodlust before September 30, we are just going to release whatever we have on September 30, and on October 1st move on to Journey Abroad again, and then come back to Bloodlust in November. And depending on if we get to the same stage on Journey Abroad, where it's mostly there but it still needs a few touches here and there, we are going to be doing the same thing that we've been doing with Journey Abroad and releasing weekly patches. So to show you guys our progress and a lot of the features that we have been adding, I feel like it's better for the players and the supporters to be actively involved with the development of our games. So you guys see that we are not just being lazy and you know just not working on the game. I feel like what we do with weekly patches is, even if we do content that we scrap later, at least you saw the original content that was later scrapped. You are able to see the changes that we do every week, the amounts of dialogue that are changed, the maps that are changed, the systems that are added into the game. So I do feel like if we keep doing weekly patches as we've been doing, it keeps the community more engaged in the game, and more in tune with the work that we do and how long it takes to do that sort of work. Now, we are currently the CG team is currently drawing a scene for Jazz. We already have 2 scenes for Eve, and we want to finish with the third scene for Eve, or a fourth entire scene in game, and release that as the initial patch. Now, much like Journey Abroad, Bloodlust will not have the menus initially. Those take a lot of time. But let me see for those that haven't seen Bloodlust yet, because I know there are a lot of people weren't able to download the patch that we created, as I think it was released only for patrons. But just to give you guys a little idea, there's a small run of the test server. I'm gonna do the same thing that I did. Well, the first thing that I'm gonna do is lower the music. We're gonna take this out of the way. We're gonna do this. Actually, I'm just gonna do this to give you guys. And this is the start of. Obviously, continue is we don't have any saves, so we can't continue. But if you go to your game, a lot of this obviously has been improved. As you can see, this is when we showcase the original dialogue box. A lot of work went into it, as you've seen in Journey Abroad. Obviously, this looks horrible, but during development, I promise you, a lot of things look horrible. I guarantee you that a lot of things look horrible. The games are never. I mean, I saw a video of Claire Obscure, which is running for Game of the Year. The game is fantastic. It looks super over the top, even though it was done with 33 people working in a studio and up to 100 collaborators. But let's hide that part, because no one wants to hear that part. Everybody wants the legend, the myth. Nobody wants to hear the reality. So obviously this is the old test server. The game doesn't look anything like this anymore, but there you go. This is how the game started, with the Fleeting Iris started music. And then obviously you have a little piece of dialogue. You have the first day. I hope I didn't add any of the. And then there was a lot of detail. Actually, might not want to go to might not want to go in the and advance too much in this phone. I think maybe for a millisecond of a frame we might have already seen like a shift of nudity. So I don't know if this video is gonna get struck down. It was for a millisecond. It's imperceptible for human eye, but this is Eve as a youngster, and this is why we have to create the. This is where we have to create the younger bus, because we are going to have the younger versions of the characters, and it's going to be important for the story. Obviously, this style is a lot more Fleeting Iris-ish. You can tell it was made by the same developer, but we want the game to look so different, because the scope is different. Antiloco Magnanimo is saying in chat, nice features, there's a lot of little details. Hideo Kojima approves this entire game. I hope he does. Where do you get the BGM from? We outsource it. Some it's there's a few of them, especially when it's like small tidbits and whatnot. Where we there are small bits of music where
We get free stuff online, royalty free music, whatever, and you just need to find like nice websites. Some of it is sent to me by developer friends and artist friends, but most of the songs that are made in this game are created by a DJ friend of mine that works. He basically gives DJ classes. He makes songs for some of the biggest Portuguese rappers, and he plays house music. He's the resident DJ on. He's a resident DJ on one of the biggest clubs in Portugal. Luckily, he's been my friend for over 30 years, and yeah, he sells me music. He makes music for me, especially when it came to like anime style music, because we want our games to look a little bit anime-ish, and especially for that, it took him a while to actually get the style going on. But when it came to making those cyberpunkish music, he's like, oh man, this I can do. Like, this is easy for me. I can do this easily, and that's why songs such as this are just easy for them. It's because he basically is mostly a techno house DJ, and he also does rap music mostly. I could probably call him and try to get clearance on his songs to show you guys, but then also that might have connected him to his real life persona, and he might not want that. So let's leave it at that for now. Let's leave it at that for now. Morgan asks, no new character art. There is. It's just not safe for work. We can't show it on YouTube. Sorry. We do have like character busts, but it's mostly like the gym teacher when he was younger and whatnot. And I don't think you guys are super excited to see those characters. There's the Eve's romantic partner, the teacher, the nice guy that gets NTR the entire game. We have a younger version for him already complete. And we have we are currently finishing the gym teacher, which is the final one, while we are also coloring the new Eve scene. And then from there we want to move into the forced striptease for Eve once she's being patted down in the director's office because she was caught snooping around, because as you guys know, Eve is a spy. So yeah, I don't have the final version of Bloodless here, but to kind of put you guys into perspective on what we are working on and what's going to happen later. Obviously, it's going to be the first initial days of gameplay. The maps obviously are looking amazing, as all the maps in Journey Abroad, if I can say so myself, especially in comparison to older Fleeting Iris maps. And the game is going to have more cyberpunkish themes in terms of like interface, in terms of like music, in terms of a lot of things. It's going to play more cyberpunkish. Obviously, we had a lot of influence in a lot of songs. We were like, oh, you know, this style where you see these tones and whatever. Obviously, when talking to someone, they use musical terms, but listening to cyberpunk games and cyberpunk movies and cyberpunk this and cyberpunk that, when cyberpunk came out, there was like a big movement for cyberpunk stuff, and a lot of people were making songs on YouTube and whatnot, and we were like, you know, it's like reading a manga or whatever. You get the ideas from, oh, we could have like a similar scenario where the character does this and that. And obviously for music, it's kind of like, let's try to understand what composes a good like cyberpunk track. And you know, because it's weird, but humans can attribute certain songs to a certain period of the day, certain era. We have some songs that were like, oh man, this sounds like an 80s song. What does the 80s sound like, you know? And obviously we were trying to understand what comprises what is a cyberpunk song. What are the themes where it is? Obviously going to AI, what do you think it makes a cyberpunk song? And then, you know, testing and trial and error, people might be, but that doesn't sound cyberpunk. We're gonna be like, yo, it does to us. You know? So definitely there's a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of detail, and a lot of passion going into these games. And I know you guys know this. We do hope that this is the financial flip that we need for the studios not to close. Um, and I don't know, man. Even if it fails, dude, we are so blessed to have met a community like you guys and to be able to do this for however long it was. Uh, I don't know, man. If it does end, it ends like a relationship that I will look back on and feel only nice things about it. You know, there's some bad breakups, and there's breakups where you just realize that for whatever reason it just didn't work out. But you can part saying, "Thank you for all that you've given me. Sorry that it didn't work out." And if that happens, that's definitely how I feel about developing. I had such a great time so far. I have a great time every day when I'm creating this stuff and I'm seeing it come to life. All the little menus, all the songs entering at the right spot, the busts, the dialogues and whatnot, and I see how the feelings that those things invoke in other people and people that enjoy our games. It just makes it worth it. Even if I'm in a crushing debt that creates crippling anxiety, it's still I still will do everything the same way. I still will do everything the same way. We're really happy with where Journey Abroad is. We are really happy where Bloodlust is. I do hope these games can get to see the light of day. And showing the game to you guys for the first time, and all of the things that we spent so much time working on. It's kind of like showing your kids' pictures to your friends. Your friends, it's like, yay, your son looks great. But for me, it's my son here. Obviously, it doesn't feel the same as a son, but I'm still super proud of everything that we have accomplished, and I can't wait for it all to be in your hands. Journey Abroad Friday, Bloodlust end of the month. Maybe the final version, maybe an initial version, and we add a new patch on top of that on Friday. But as always, we will keep you guys updated. I am sorry I haven't been making the podcast. It's just that you guys know after the burnout, I've made a few podcasts where you can tell from my tone of voice and whatever that I am completely exhausted. It's taking me some time to recover and going back to the same energy levels as before and whatnot. And I've been putting so much time, way over what my eyes can take, and putting my eyes through a lot more strain than they can take. For instance, for a lot of this, other than when I was showcasing the games, I'm doing the podcast with my eyes closed. I'm skilled enough to do this with my eyes closed, guys. I can talk into a microphone with my eyes closed. I've been very exhausted, and when it comes Wednesday at 8 p.m., which is when I do the podcast for you guys to reach the most of you, which is when we realize where most people will be able to show up. It will be at 8 p.m. GMT. I've been exhausted a lot of times. Sometimes I'm just at the end of a work day, and I'm like, if I just keep pushing this a little bit further, I'll be able to finish this part where I wanted to finish today. So, it's always nice to be able to like compile a lot of information and be able to give that information to you guys instead of like, just little tidbits here and there. Some podcasts are definitely better than others, and obviously this one, since there was a lot of progress, I do feel like it was in general pretty good podcast, and it's able to show you guys that we are not messing around. We are putting a lot of work and a lot of love into this project, and I hope you guys can see the love when you play the game and you enjoy all the little details the same way that we enjoyed creating them. And maybe podcasts like this and me pointing out some of the later on, and we might do it on Picarto since it allows some not safe for work stuff, but me pointing out the point of a dialogue, or what went into making a song, or what went into making a map, or a little menu, or whatever, might make you guys have a different appreciation for what goes into creating a game. For me, that's all. If you guys don't have any more questions, I really appreciate you all for showing up today. Morgan, Antiloco Magnanimo, Soul Survivor, as usual, brother. Thank you so much for being here and being supportive throughout our whole career. Most of you, like Morgan, I know you've been here for a long time. Antiloco, I know you haven't been here for the longest time. I know you've been here since the start, but you've been here for a while. And Survivor, I really there's no words to express all the support you have been giving us in every way, shape, or form. I appreciate you guys so much for showing up. And everyone that is listening to this, even if you don't participate in the chat, because a lot of people are afraid to participate in public stuff and whatnot. I appreciate you all so much for listening. I appreciate you all beyond words can explain for all the support in all the ways that you guys have been showing your support. Thank you guys so much. That is all for today, and I will see you guys Friday. Peace out, guys. Take care. Much love, much fortune, much health. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Oki te wakari ne boshita Omoidashita no wa kimi no koto desu